Okay, so yesterday we just went over how to do FIFO while introducing what happens when we have some purchase returns and allowances, okay, as well as beginning inventory. So now let's go ahead and continue on with our with question number 5 over here. So this is assuming this is completely separate from obviously the previous question, okay? So this time it's going to be that your inventory method is periodic, but this time it is LIFO, okay? Assume that all purchases were made on an account. So in this case, right, like I've mentioned before, we're not going to be practicing journalizing anymore because it's rinse and repeat, okay? So we're just going to go ahead and practice filling out the table and then just figuring out the calculations from there, okay? So let's take a look. August 5th, okay? August 5th, we purchased 1,200 toys at $1 each with the freight costing $50, okay? So question 5, all right, let's put that in our table here. August 5th. 1,200 units at $1 each with a freight of $50. What's my purchase price here?
$120.
120. If I have 1,200 toys at $1 each.
Oh shit! I put something. When I was thinking, it's the water. 1,020. 200.
Yep. Okay. Plus my $50 of freight, what should be my total cost?
1250.
$12.50. And because we are doing LIFO, we need to keep our batches separate. What is my cost per item?
$1.04. 1,666.
Good. It's an unrounded number. 1.0416. Okay. So then, let's see what happened next here. Then on August 7th, we end up returning 200 toys, okay? They were the wrong color, but we were willing to accept 20% discount. Okay, so again, we returned 200 toys. They were the wrong color, and we are willing to accept a 20% discount.
Which is gonna be $40.
Okay, so this would do 200, right? Well, in this case, are we actually returning anything? No. But however, we only have one batch of inventory. And how much is the cost per item? $1, right?
Yep.
So in this case, we're going to go ahead and run my formula right here. We are attempting to return 200 of those toys, right? They cost me $1, and I'm going to get a 20% discount. So in this case, 20% of 200 is 40. Okay, good. Now this is what I'm going to do in order to keep track of my goods available. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and make my column in the middle here. Okay. And I'm going to say, well, in this batch, right, I originally purchased 1,200, right? But, right, I ended up getting 100 of them the wrong color. So in this case, the vendor convinced me to keep those items, but give me a 20% discount instead. So in this case, right, I still have 1,200 units. However, I received $40 discount. So in this case, I don't have my $1,250 anymore. I have $40 less, right? Which is $1,210. And in this case, right, I have a new total cost. So here I need to figure out what my new cost per item is, because this time I have less amount. I have $1,210 spreading across over $1,250. So in this case, what is my cost per item going to be?
Mm, 96 8 cents. I gotta do that again. No. $1 and 8333.
Right? Because we're spreading less cost, right, over less or over the items, right? It's significantly going to get a lot cheaper, because instead of having more money spread across over the items here, it's less. So in this case, it will drop the cost per item significantly, okay, to $1.83 or something like that, okay? Okay. So then let's see what happened next. On August 10, we purchased 750 toys at $1.25 with a freight of 45. So in this case, 750 at $1.25 with a freight of 45. It is August 10, 750 at $1.25 with a freight of 45. So here, what's my purchase price?
900.
900. Okay, and okay, I got 937.50.
I put the wrong number.
No worries. So in this case, right, 937.50, right, plus $45 is going to give me a grand total cost of
982.50.
982.50, okay? Which then that will bring my cost per item to be
$131.
$1.31. Good. Okay. Okay. Assuming, right, we won't make any changes to this batch, right? So let's see what happened next. Then August 11th rolls around and you end up returning 50 broken toys for a full refund. Okay. So going back to this, right, we returned 50 broken mugs. So in this case, we are actually returning 50 of them, right? At what cost? At what cost? $1, what?
25.
$1.25, good, because we can't return freight. all right? So therefore, we have to actually only return the purchase price. So in this case, $1.25. So in this case, what is my refund going to be? What was the amount of my refund?
62.50.
$62.50. Okay? So if that's the case, right, we're actually going to be changing our quantity and our total cost. Because in this case, right, we purchased originally 750 units, but we end up returning 50 of them. So therefore, I should have only 700 left. Okay? And in this case, my total cost also changed too because I end up returning 50 of those items. So in this case, I take my $982.50, right, my total cost, and I'm subtracting out my $62.50. So I should be left with $920. So now, because I have two completely new figures, I have a new quantity and a new cost, or new total cost. I need to figure out what my new cost per item is going to be.
$1.314285.
But all right, so then on August 20th, right, we end up purchasing 400 toys at $1.50 with a freight cost of $25. So 400 at $1.50 with a freight of $25. Okay, so it's August 20. 400 at $1.50 with a freight of 25. So here, what is my purchase price here?
Uh, 600.
600 plus 25.
625.
Which brings me my total cost per item to be
$1.5625.
good. Right? So then on August 25th, we end up purchasing an additional 600 toys at $1.75 with a freight of 30. So 600 toys at $1.75 with a freight of 30. Okay. August 25th, 600 toys at $1.75 with a freight of 30. So in this case, what is my purchase price?
$1,050.
1,050 plus 30,
$1,080.
1,080. And my cost per item here is going to be
$1.80.
okay. So here, right? Nothing was affected on our batch that we purchased on April 20th or August 20th. So then in this case, I'm going to go ahead and carry that value into my goods available because no changes has or were made, right? We had 400 units at a total cost of $625, right? Which brings my cost per item to be $1.5625. Okay, so that at least we know that's for certain. Nothing changed to that one. Okay, so then let's go ahead and see what happened next. Okay, 26th of August. Okay, you end up returning 25 defective toys for a full refund. So 25 of those toys are defective. Okay. So we're returning 25 of them, right? What's my cost per item? My assumption is I'm returning the batch that I just bought.
175.
Okay, so then in this case, right, what is going to be my full refund amount?
$43.75.
$43.75. So in this case, I definitely made changes to my quantity because I started out with 600, but I end up returning 25 of them. Okay, and of course, I also have a new total cost because I also end up getting a full refund. So therefore, it reduced the amount that I have. So in this case, it's now dropped my value to $1036.25. Okay. So with that being said, now I need to recalculate my new cost per item, okay, which is going to be
Uh, 180, 82, 173.
good. All right. So then here on August 31st, you were given that you have a total of 1,500 toys left on hand. So therefore, we reach the end of the accounting period. So we have 1,500 toys on hand. So let's plug that number into my worksheet here, okay? And let's solve for our total here, okay? So let me see, where's my... Okay, so we need to solve for the totals here. We need to solve for my total goods available, okay, as well as my returns and allowances. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve for or tally up our totals. So in this case, what was the total amount of purchases that I made, or quantity? How many units did I purchase?
Uh, 2,900.
2,950.
50.
Okay, good. What was the total purchase price?
$3,787.50.
Good. What's my total freight?
$150.
150, bringing me a total cost of
$3,937.50.
Good. Okay. What is my total goods available?
$2,875.
2,875. And what's my total cost of my goods available?
$3,791.25.
Okay. What was the total of my returns and allowances in quantity?
75.
75 at a total cost of? What was my total refund?
$146.25.
Good. Okay. So now let's go ahead and plug in our numbers here in our net purchases to solve for our cost of goods sold. So in this case, how many items did I buy?
$2,000. What number?
950, yeah. Okay. How much did it total cost me for my total purchases without the freight?
$3,787.50.
Good. How many items did I return?
75.
Okay, which cost me a total refund of?
$146.25.
Okay, so therefore my subtotal should be this number subtract this number. So I should have 2,875 units available. Okay, at a total cost of 3,641.25. Okay, in this case, right? Freight, once again, does not increase quantity, but how much was my total cost for my freight?
150.
150. Okay. So therefore, I should still have 3,875, but this time it's going to increase to 7,578.75. Hold on. There's something wrong. My quantity is there. Oh, haha. I selected the wrong one. Huh. It's supposed to be the 150. There you go. 3,791.25, which matches my total goods available, because assuming that I don't have beginning inventory, my net purchases is going to become my goods available. Okay. So just like I mentioned here, because we have no beginning inventory, and if I carry my net purchases down, right, that I saw from up here, therefore, if I add 0 to these numbers, it's going to give me exactly $3,791.25. Okay. So in this case here, right, since we were given that on August 31st, where we have a total of 1,500 units left, all right, so that means I am assuming I sold how many units? Okay, if I started out with 28.75 and I have 1,500 left over, how many items did I sell?
1,375.
1,375. So I'm going to go ahead and make this line right here my little section here. And I'm going to go ahead and make this column here my cost of goods sold. Okay. So since we are using LIFO this time, right? That's the big difference. We're using LIFO, which is last in, first out. So in this case, which batch am I going to start from first?
The one with 575.
Good. With the one with 575. So in this case, I'm going to be taking the whole entire amount of 575. So that means I'm going to carry these numbers down. Oh, I forgot to do my equal sum here. So equals sum, so I know how much I have as my running balance. Okay, so I have my totals tallied up here in my Excel. Okay. All right, so then now that I eliminated my first 575 items, which batch is next?
The 400.
The 400, right? In this case, let's see. 400 gives me 975. So that I'm going to go ahead and eliminate this whole entire batch right here. Okay. So I have 975. How many more do I need to get to 1375?
400.
400. So there you go. Let me go ahead and do that. So then I 1375 minus 975. I need exactly 400. So in this case, which batch am I going to take out from next? I already eliminated my last two. Yes, the one with 700. In this case, I only need 400 out of the 700. Right? So therefore, I need to calculate my actual total cost. Okay, so in this case, what is the total cost of 400 items? That's going to cost me $1.3142,857 going to be. So times this, comma, I want it to be 2 decimal places. So what's my total cost for selling 400 items?
Uh, 525 and 96.
Okay, so that could be a rounding error here.
Yeah.
But you did get the main point. It was just 525. Okay. Okay. So here I have a grand total of my cost of goods sold to be $2,186.96. So therefore, what should my beginning inventory be? $15. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to take my goods available and I'm going to subtract out the total cost of goods sold. That way, I don't have to actually really calculate it, right? But yes, I do have 1,500 items left. So what's my total cost or total value?
$1,604.29.
Okay, so good. So here we have it. We solved for our inventory worksheet, right? Here, let's go ahead and complete my conversion entry because I have everything that I need right here in this column here on the left side, okay? So, question number 6 says complete the conversion entry. So, it is August 31st. Okay.
Um, we start off with toys.
Good. We start off with toys or inventory. Okay, toys. You want to plug in the numbers now as we go through it, or how do you want to do this?
Let's start. So and toys, cost of goods sold, and then purchase expense and freight expense.
Good.
Oh, and purchases and returns and allowance.
Good. Purchase returns and allowances. Purchase expense and freight expense. Good. Okay, so let's go through each value. So what is the total value of my ending inventory?
$1,604.29.
Right? Ending inventory or ending balance right here, total value. Okay. What was my total cost of goods sold?
2,000.
2186.
Good. Okay. COGS is short for cost of goods sold. Okay. All right. What was my total returns and allowances?
Purchases and returns and allowance were 146.25.
Good. What was my total original purchase price without the freight?
150.
Okay, that's the freight.
3,641.25.
Not that one. Total purchases, that's the subtotal. What was my total purchase price of everything that I brought?
Oh, 3,787.50.
Good, right? In this case, we're not looking at what we have available or what happens after our return because in this case, right, we've already included our amount that we refunded. So that's going to be double taking it out from our debits and credits. In this case, I've already recognized my return, so I need to recognize my full amount that I originally purchased my inventory as. And then we said that the freight was 150, right? Yes, 150. Okay. So again, before I can continue on, I need to ensure that my total debits match my total credits. So in this case, I have a total of 3,937.50 on the left, and I have a total of 3,937.50 on the right. Okay? So in this case, remember, when we're looking at the purchase expense, we're looking at the full original value that I originally purchased my entire inventory for, okay? All right. Good. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So we're going to be moving on to question number 7 here. Now, in this case, right, question 7 says we're going to be continuing on with question number 5. So in this case, we have beginning inventory, right? We have a total of 1,500 units left in inventory. So in this case, right, we know that because we figured it out in our inventory worksheet. So what we're going to do is we're going to carry those values over into our new worksheet. So once again, let's take a look at my inventory worksheet, right? I have 1,500 at $1,604.29. So let's take a look. Now, in this case, I have to carry my batches of inventory over as exactly how I purchased it, right? So in this case, I still have a batch of 1,200 left over, and I still have 300 remaining in my 700 batch here, okay? So I'm going to carry it over exactly how I purchased it. So in this case, I'm going to carry over my 1,200 items, and I have 300 from my previous batch. So I'm going to carry over my values over. So in this case, the 1,200 was 1,210. And then let's see what the total value is for this column here, where we had 700 cost me $9.20, but I end up selling $525.71. So I should be left with $394.29. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make my totals here just to verify that the numbers are correct. Right? So equals sum. Okay, so I have 1,500 units at a grand total of 1604.25, which is correct, right? This is what we solved for in our inventory worksheet from the previous one, okay? I'm going to also go ahead and put in my cost per items here so that in case I end up selling these units, I know exactly what the price points are, okay? So this is my price point. Okay. So then let's go ahead and see what happened next. All right? Then September 5th, I end up purchasing an additional 650 toys at $1.65 with the freight costing $25. So 650, 165, 25. Okay. It is September 5th, 650 at $1.65 with a freight of 25. So in this case, what is my total purchase price?
$1,072.50.
Good. Plus $25 freight.
$1097.50.
Good. $1097.50, which then brings me my cost per item to be
1.688461.
okay. Okay. Since I have my beginning inventory already here, I'm going to go ahead and build my table down below for my goods available. Okay. So in this case, right, I'm going to carry my values once again over. I have 1,200 units, and then I have 300 units, okay, at this cost, right, to get my total values of this, okay. So since we are assuming that when we purchased our batch of inventory here, right, we're going to see to make sure that nothing has happened to it before we carry it into our goods available. So let's see, did anything happen to this? On September 10, we end up purchasing 1,000 toys at $1.80 with the freight of $40. So 1,000 toys, $180 and $40 freight. So in this case, nothing happened to my September 5th. Everything came out good. So therefore, I need to carry that amount into my inventory. But let's go ahead and solve for this first right here. So 180 with a freight of 40. So $1.80 with a freight of 40. Okay. So in this case, what's my total purchase price here?
$1,800.
Total cost?
1,840.
Cost per item?
$1.84.
$1.84. Good. So in this case, right, we need to carry our value over into our inventory on hand, or goods available, excuse me. So I have 600 units at 1688, giving me a total cost of $1097.50. So then let's see what happened next. Then September 12th rolls around, and you end up returning 50 defective toys for a full refund. So 50 defective toys for a full refund. So September 12th, okay, we end up returning 50 toys for a full refund. How much, assuming that this is the batch that we just most recently bought, how much is it going to cost me per item?
$180.
$1.80. So what's my total amount of refund?
$90. Oh, no. Yeah, more. $90.
$90 refund. So in this case, this batch right here, I have a new quantity and a new cost. Okay? Because I originally purchased 1,000, but I end up returning 50 of those items. Okay? And of course, my total cost, right, has also changed because I end up getting a refund for $90. So therefore, I should be at $17.50, right? Because I started with $18.40 minus 90. I am now at $17.50. So now I need to recalculate my cost per item because in this case, I have a new quantity and a new total cost. So what is my cost per item going to be for this batch right here?
$184.2105.
Good. Okay. So then, let's see what happened next. On September 20th, we end up purchasing 500 toys at $1.85 with the freight costing you $20. So 500 at $1.85 with a freight of $20. So 500, 185, 20. September 20, 500 at $1.85 with a freight of 20. So what is my purchase price here?
$9.25.
Okay, plus $20,
$9.45.
bringing my total cost per item to be
$1.89.
$1.89. Good. But then on September 22nd, we end up returning 100 toys. They end up being, again, the wrong color. So we got, we weren't willing to accept any discounts. So we want a full refund instead. So in this case, we actually end up returning 100 of those toys. Even though they were the wrong color, we want a full refund. Okay. So I'm going to get a full refund on 100 items, okay? What's my cost per item going to be?
$185.
$1.85. So how much is my refund for?
$185.
$185. Okay? So therefore, again, what we did here is we actually returned the items. So I have 500 minus 100, okay? And of course, my total quantity or my total cost of $9.45, I've returned 150, bringing my value down to $760. So therefore, what is going to be my new cost per item?
$1.90.
$1.90. Okay. Good. So then let's go ahead and take a look at our last batch of inventory here. Okay. So on September 25th, we end up making one last batch of oh wait, hold on. Yeah, we end up buying our last batch of inventory of 100 toys for $1.75 with a freight cost of $5. So in this case, we end up getting that return back, right? So we purchased 100 toys at $1.75 with the freight cost of $5. Okay? And here we know that's the last one because it's pretty close to the end of the month. And we're also given the scenario here that we have a total of 750 toys left on hand. So let's go ahead and enter in our last value here. So 100 toys at $1.75 with a freight of $5. Okay. So in this case, what is my total purchase price?
$175.
Good, $175 plus $5 gives me $180, which brings my cost per item to be $1.80. And because I know this is the last batch, plus I was already given that I know what happened at the end, right? I'm going to transfer this amount into my inventory on my goods available. Okay. So now I need to tally up my totals, okay? So I need to tally up my total in my purchases. I need to tally up my totals in my goods available, as well as my purchase returns and allowances, okay? So in this case, how many items did I purchase in grand total? $22.50, okay? And then what is my total purchase price?
$3,972.50.
Good. What was my total amount of freight?
$90.
Plus, okay, so my total cost is
$4,062.50.
good. Okay. So then what is my total goods available?
$3,600.
Okay. With a total cost of
$5,391.50. Oh,
oh yeah, because we have the 29 cents from yeah.
all right.
Okay. So then how many total items did I return? 150, right? 50 plus 100. Giving me a grand total refund of $275. Okay. So now that I solved for all my units here, let's go ahead and plug all of our numbers into my net purchases side to solve for my total cost of goods sold. So here, how many total items did I purchase?
Total items are 2,250.
2,250, right? At a total original purchase price of?
$3,972.50.
Good. I returned 150 toys at a total of $275. So therefore, I should now have 2,100 units available at a total cost of $3,697.50. Okay. Once again, freight adds nothing to quantity, but what was my total freight? 90. So that should give me my total net purchases of 2,100 units at a grand total of $3,787.50. Right? So once again, do I have beginning inventory? Yes, I do for the 1,500 units. What was my total cost of my beginning inventory?
$1,604.29.
Good, right? We're going to carry my net purchases that I solved from the previous section above, and I'm going to get my total goods available by adding these two numbers up. I should have a total goods available of 3,600 units at a total cost of $5,391.79, which is exactly what is in my table right here. Okay. So let's take a look. So on September 30th, I end up having 750 units left in my inventory. So 750 units left. So therefore, how many items did I sell? Oop. So I must have sold 2,850 units. Okay. So here, looking at my goods available, I have 2, 4, 6, what do you call it? 6 batches of inventory that I have purchased. Okay. And I think I need one more. Right. So in this case, I'm going to make this section here my cost of goods sold. Okay. And I'm going to make my little running balance thing right here down below, or my total columns. Okay. And this I'm going to go ahead and create a running balance so I know how many units I have sold so far, as well as calculating my grand total cost here. Okay. So taking a look at this, right? Let's start. So we have LIFO, right? LIFO is going to start. Okay, so LIFO, which is last in, first out. So which batch of inventory am I going to start out with first?
The 100 at $1.80.
The 100 at $1.90. Good. So in this case, I'm just cell referencing. So I know I'm going to take out the whole total, so I don't need to calculate there, because at the end of the day, I'm going to get 180. Okay. Okay. Alright, so now that I eliminated my first 100, which batch is going to come next?
400.
The 400 batch right here at $1.90. So therefore, that should give me a grand total of $760. So I sold my first 500. I have a long way to keep going. So which batch of inventory I'm going to take out from next?
950.
950. All right. which is going to give me a total cost of the $17.50. Okay. So I have $14.50 that I've sold so far. How many more do I need to go? I have quite some. I have like more than 1,000 left. So in this case, which batch of inventory am I going to take out from next? 650, right? Okay, which in this case, I'm going to take the whole batch of 650. So now I'm at 2,100. How many more do I need to sell to get to 2,850?
750.
750. So looking at my batch of inventory, therefore, I must eliminate the next one, which is the 4,300, right?
Yep.
I'm going to take that whole entire batch here. So therefore, okay. Then now I'm down to 2,400. How many more do I need to get to 2,850?
450.
Yes, 2,850 minus 2,400. I need 450 more units. In this case, I only have one batch of inventory left, right? I'm only left with my 1,200 items. So in this case, I need to calculate my average cost per item here. Excuse me, my cost per item here. And I need to actually calculate this because I'm not going to take the whole entire 1,200 units. I'm only taking a small portion of it. So what is my total cost if I sell 450 units at $1.833, going on so forth? What's my total cost here?
$403 and 33 cents.
453. In this case, since I'm rounding, it rounded my number up to 75 cents. So in this case, that could be a rounding error. So remember, in this case, we have to at least get 6 decimal places after. Okay. So there you go. So now that brings me to a total of 2,850 units at a grand total cost of $4,635.54. So in this case, my ending inventory is going to be
Uh, 756.25.
okay. Now, if you guys have took a look at this and realized, well, if LIFO is LIFO, right? Then my assumption is that if the last ones are the first to go, that means I'm going to start from bottom and make my way up to the top, right? Now, in this case, if I thought further ahead, I could also assume that that means my ending inventory is going to end up being what I started with. Okay? So in this case, if you figured that far already, you could have also easily simply solved for your inventory exactly like this, right? Where if I have my ending inventory, I know I'm going to be ending up with 750 units, right? And because I'm going to end up with my very first batch of inventory that I carried over from my beginning inventory. Therefore, I have 1,200 units. So therefore, I'm pretty sure that my ending inventory is going to come from that 1,200 units. So therefore, it's going to cost me that $1.08, right? $1.08. So in this case, I could have also solved for my ending inventory by working this, right? By taking my 750, multiplying it by my $1.833, right? And I would have solved for the same exact answer of $756.25. And therefore, instead of having to go through all of this, I could have simply just taken my number, right, for the 756.25 and solved for that. My cost of goods sold should have been $4,635.54. Okay. So again, this could have been an option that you could have done as well. Okay. And I'm going to highlight this because that's exactly, an answer that you could have gotten. Okay. So there you go. Any questions so far? All right, so you had a question?
Oh, no.
Okay, so let's go ahead and complete our conversion entry for question number 8. So in this case, what should my journal look like to convert my inventory on September 30th? Oh, September 30th.
Toys inventory.
Toys inventory. Okay, toys. Good.
Is it purchase expense and freight expense?
All right, purchase expense and freight expense going to go down here. Right, because in this case, right, we're converting from our purchase expense and our freight expense, so we're going to be zeroing these accounts out. So these are going to go towards the bottom of your transaction. Okay, these are going to be credit accounts because I've been journalizing, and when I journalize that I purchased my inventory, right, I'm increasing my purchase expense. But now that I'm converting it in, right, I'm going to decrease my purchase expense because I'm essentially taking all those amounts and putting them into my inventory, my cost of goods sold, and so on and so forth. Okay. What else am I going to recognize?
Cost of goods sold and purchase and allowances. Returns and allowances.
Good. Anything else?
And then toys again in the bottom.
Yes, this is the beginning inventory, right? All right, so I'm going to allow you to go ahead and have this as a reference point that this is beginning. Okay. So let's plug our numbers in. Okay, what was the total value of my ending inventory?
756. I don't remember anymore.
That was correct. Okay. What was my total cost of goods sold?
$4,635.54.
Good. All right, what was my total returns?
$275.
275. What was my total purchase price? My total original purchase price?
$3,972.50.
Good. What was my total freight?
90.
And last but not least, what was my total amount of beginning inventory?
1604.29.
Okay, good. Before we finish this, we're going to confirm that my total debits match my credit. So here we go. I have 5,666.79 on the left, 5,666.79 on the right. Okay, good. Any questions here?
No.
Okay. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is I'm gonna have you guys take a break real quick. So in this case, I usually give 20 minutes. So let's take a break and